Hello, welcome back. We have reached the 50 plus pointers of the recent Puzzle GP, and this genre is called Chocolate Banana, and the objective is to color the whole grids, divide it into, chocolates and bananas, and I'll try to explain. So, chocolate is the word here for rectangular regions, and banana is the word for non-rectangular regions. So, some chocolate examples would be these, or some larger rectangles. They can be squares as well, including a 1 by 1, and some banana examples would be these. So, banana regions can contain large rectangles inside them, as long as the final shape isn't a rectangle. And the clues indicate the size of the region they are in, but note that initially their colors are not given and are for the solver to find. And finally, two regions of the same color cannot touch at a side. So for example, if you determine this for region, everything around it has to be of the opposite color, but they can touch at corners. I mean, same colors can touch at corners, but not at their sides. So the opposite is true as well. If we determine this for region, everything around it has to be of the opposite color. And this is an allowed situation. These two clues have equal values, but they can be of the opposite colors. So that's not a violation. And I think we can begin. 1 and 2 clues are always chocolates because a single cell is just a square and a domino is always a rectangle shape, so you can always know the color of the 1 and 2 clues. Now these two are touching, but they are of different values, so they cannot both be chocolates. So this 3 is a banana. This 2 goes to the left or down. In either case, this cell is part of a banana region. You can also easily determine the color of these 23s. They cannot be chocolates. They need to be 1 by 23. Then you can look at the 4 and 5s. As they are different values, they have to be opposite colors, either like this or this. But this way causes issues for the 4, because this has to be a 1 by 5, cannot extend to the right. So it has to take this. But as everything around it will be of the opposite color, we have the problem here. Let's color these for practice. This 4 region is now greater than 4. It isn't even a banana yet, but it's already broken. So this is the correct coloring, and it's a good idea to keep looking at the first row of clues. Now we know that 4 is chocolate. It is either a 1 by 4 or a 2 by 2. I mean either this, or this. The easily broken way is this. This 3 needs to be getting out, but then it connects to a larger banana region. So this 4 needs to be going down at least 1, cannot go to the right because it is a rectangle. And there's an important deduction to be made that is somewhat hidden. This 3 is a banana, and it can be a banana in 3 different ways right now. So either this, or this, or this. But all of these 3 have some commonalities about the chocolate regions surrounding it. So it means either this, or both of these cells are chocolate regions because they will be touching the borders of the tree. And it basically means that this 4 cannot be a 2 by 2. You can maybe see it more visually from the contradiction. If this was true, then this tree cannot connect to the right because it will be a larger region, even if it's a banana. So it goes down, cannot connect to the left now now to the right. So it is broken. This 2 is also broken if you continue shading around it. And it means that this 4 region only has this option. Now this 5 region is almost complete, cannot go down because then it will be at least size 6. Now it will take exactly one of these 4 cells, but 3 of them have an issue. So let me explain it by this wrong scenario. If this is the correct version, now this region is complete and everything touching it will be chocolate regions. But now, as this is a rectangle, this is also a rectangle, they cannot take this cell because they will stop being a rectangle then. But this cannot be a banana, this is just a 1 by 1 square, which is a rectangle, so this is a wrong option. And even if you try the cells below it, this is still the mostly the same issue, like this or like this. So in all of these cases, you form a banana region in the corner, but you cannot make it escape anywhere to stop being a rectangle. So none of these scenarios will work, and this is the only one that does. So we can surround it by chocolates now. And now this cell has to be a banana because this is not a valid rectangle. And it needs to continue down at least as long as it is still a rectangle. It has to stop being a rectangle eventually. So now it is okay. Cannot connect to this 4. So this 4 is of the opposite color. It is a chocolate region. But now this 4 cannot also be chocolate because you cannot form a rectangle here. Anyway, you would need this cell to be shaded, but it isn't. So you get opposite colored 4 regions. This chocolate 4 needs at least this cell, cannot take this, but cannot go down as a 1 by 4 because then the banana next to it is also a 1 by 4 and shade around the chocolates. So this is the correct version. Now this 4 is too small to be able to connect like so. There's a chocolate here. Now these two are different values. They are of opposite colors. So it's either like this or like this. The wrong version is this because the 4 itself works, but it will trap a banana region while it is still a rectangle. So that's not good. This 4 cannot avoid connecting to these two cells. So we get valid shapes. Now this 4 is again too small of a value to be able to connect here. So it connects there and we get this. The only colors we haven't determined yet are of these 10 and 9. They are both good candidates to be able to be rectangles like this or as a 3 by 3 for the 9. But again, it leaves behind a banana region that is not a banana yet. And the other option for the 9 would be being a 1 by 9, but it breaks so many things when you color the opposite cells. So 10 is the chocolate region and it has to be a 2 by 5 as it's blocked on the top and on the left by the edge of the grid, and everything around it is a banana. These are two different banana regions, so this cell cannot be a banana. Now this cell cannot be chocolate because this is not a valid rectangle anymore. It can never be. And this cell cannot be chocolate either for the same reason. So we have this. This 9 is large, but it's not that large to be able to connect into that. So we have this. The 9 is now at 7 cells, needs 2 more. But if you try to take this lonely cell as part of a 9, Now it's complete, but when you shade everything around it as chocolate, then this chocolate needs to form, and it still traps the banana region, while the banana region is still a rectangle, so that's no good. This cell needs to continue down, it cannot remain like this. It is a banana. Now this 9 region only has 2 cells available to it, cannot connect to the other largest banana region. So we have this. And while I did want to have a 23 clue, I didn't really want to make solvers count it cell by cell. You can vaguely say that this is really too few as of yet, so it keep needs to take these 4 cells. It needs to connect to it. It probably will take this cell. So it's a bit hand wavy maybe, but you can be pretty certain that everything that is left from this tree, and the chocolate region surrounding this tree will be belonging to the 23 region, and especially this part. This needs to go into the 23 region, but remember that this is still a banana region, so if it was taking this cell, it will be stopping the flow of these 4 cells. It cannot go into the 23 because it will be clashing with the tree. So it's not taking this cell, but then it only has one option to be a banana region. So all of these are forced flows from here into the 23. And now you still are a bit short if you aren't taking these 4 cells and the connecting cells, obviously. So, and as long as you can convince yourself that this isn't nearly enough for the 23, then you can just do a uniqueness metalogic on these 2 cells and realize that they both need to belong to it. You can count as a double check, but you can actually get away with it without counting cell by cell at any point. At least that's what I think so. And we are at the end of this puzzle. This actually started with this 2, 3, 4, 5 arrangements and the deduction between them by eliminating the 2 by 2 option. But then I also wanted to have this, so this 5's place was somewhat fixed. It had to be 2 inside the edge, the corner I mean. And the 23 was actually a later addition. It's really not practical to work directly through large non-rectangular regions, especially when they are this large. So this region is basically just collecting everything that is left over from other clue cells or other unclued regions. But I'm glad I was able to make the count work. Uh, the outer clues were just consecutives. I wanted them to be that way. And the inner clues are identical. I mean, 23, 23 is very obvious, but I want to have identical clues that end up as different colors. And overall, I'm pretty happy with how it came together. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.